So I did speak to the bank's top tech executive. He shared his outlook on AI for next year. I spoke to Goldman's chief information officer, Marco Argenti, exclusively on the topic. He spent the bulk of his career at AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Nokia back in the day, now handles Goldman's AI efforts. We first talked about what happened this year. He said right now in AI, it feels like the emergence of cloud when he was at Amazon, but faster. He says he's never seen anything like this in terms of the pace of development. He said the biggest surprise this year was this tech moving beyond things like chatbots into multimodal, which is pretty much a fancy way of saying AI that generates images and video. Says that next year, Fortune 500 companies are going to start to...
I agree. AI is going to be everywhere in the future. There will be no program, no application without AI in the future. It's going to be everywhere. So AI will be predominant for the probably next few years to come, and many more.
Deploy this in a much more impactful way, and it eventually will evolve into what he calls a new hybrid workforce with AI agents working alongside people.
You might think of a future of a workforce where you're going to have managers that are going to manage both human employees and AI employees. You might have the role of human capital management functions that are going to become human and machine capital functions that are going to be working on both evolving the career of humans and also evolving the career of AIs.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good analogy at all. I think he's just speaking out of his you know what, right there. There are AI employee doesn't mean anything. There will not be AI employees. There will not be AI careers in the future. AI is just a piece of software. It's an extension of software that is useful for humans. It's a tool. It's not an employee, unfortunately. I don't think that's the future of AI at all.
Argenti says there will be an emergence of AI experts that have a very niche, specific type of industry knowledge. So think of banking, for example. In the case of Goldman Sachs, he is expecting major robotics breakthroughs as well. Says AI safety is going to become a bigger priority on company boards, not just for regulators. And then large language model commoditization, he says we're going to see, he described it as many cars, fewer engines. The engines here being the underlying models. As that happens, the data the companies train off, he says, are going to really start to emerge as an edge, guys.
Is it going to change the world now? Or because it doesn't seem like it's quite ready for prime time yet.
That's one of the big predictions. I think this is also part of the AI narrative and the valuation story, that it's got to help margins at some point in order for this narrative to continue. So I think there's a lot of pressure for this to actually start to impact normal companies, not just tech companies. If that doesn't happen, I think it takes some of the air out of what's going on here.
All right, well, it's going to be a fun year for you on the front.
Yeah, I think companies that are not using AI yet, they will definitely fall behind, and very, very soon. So if you're running any kind of business or company, or if you are willing to apply for a job in any kind of company, especially in the technology or the banking or the finance sector, then you should definitely look at AI opportunities. AI is the future. Let's watch the next video.
Are we still hyped, Konstantin?
Good morning, Caroline, and great to see you. We are definitely in an AI hype cycle, and yet we're not really focused on the 2024 hype cycle or even 2025. We're focused on the very long term, and artificial intelligence is a very big and very important macro trend, akin really to the Industrial Revolution. And so that's a trend we have been investing in for decades and are going to continue investing in for decades to come, regardless of where hype lands.
You wrote a piece a year or so ago, really identifying how Gartner, for example, sees hype cycles and this wild enthusiasm, and then suddenly you get into this disappointment, sort of a trough of disillusionment. Where are we in terms of consumer adoption, in terms of people actually putting return on investment, AI investment first?
You're exactly right. Let me give a couple examples. AI changes over time. When I was an AI researcher a long time ago, we were barely scratching the surface of natural language processing and natural language understanding and the beginnings of computer vision. 2022, 2023 were really about large language models and answering questions and really the advent of modern AI. 2024 has been the year of agents. And what an agent is an AI that actually completes a task. You ask it to do something, and it doesn't just tell you how to do it. It does it for you.
Yeah, I think AI went into a skyrocketing trajectory with ChatGPT, of course, with OpenAI and its chatbot, famous ChatGPT bot, and everybody is using ChatGPT nowadays to basically ask for anything, to search for anything on the internet. If they want to know something, they ask ChatGPT. They don't go to Google at all. And if they want the news, they simply go to Twitter. So Google is going to be obsolete. Google search at some point is going to be obsolete, and people are going to be using AI for most of the time. ChatGPT just put Google out of business. It put a lot of businesses out of business as well, and AI is probably going to replace many kind of businesses as well. I believe so.
An example of an AI agent company is our own portfolio company, Expo. Expo was founded by the creator of GitHub Copilot, and they set out to create an agent for cybersecurity, an extremely challenging and important space. And in a few months, they were able to develop an AI that can actually outperform some of the best penetration testers in the world. So this AI goes in and it attacks a website with the permission of the website provider, finds vulnerabilities, and actually reports it back and says, we have found these vulnerabilities. We've completed this entire task. That was 2024 for AI. It was all about agents. 2025 and beyond likely will be about swarms of AI agents, networks of AI agents, them working together and maybe even against each other to some result.
Konstantin, the swarm of AI agents, I feel there's a swarm of companies talking about AI agents, that we're about to have Salesforce numbers after the bell today, and they're all about agent force. At the same time, we recently had one of your portfolio companies on Rocks, for example, which is also all about agents. How are we going to see them cross-contaminate, work against each other, or indeed some win and some lose?
Yeah, I definitely think there will be a plethora, a multitude, many different kind of AI in the future, and every successful company is gonna have its own AI model that it uses for some specific task. And of course, these AI in each and every company are gonna be able to communicate with other AI from other companies, over the network, over some kind of API. And that's probably what the future is going to look like. So there's going to be definitely some companies that will be on top and some companies at the bottom, and some companies that don't use AI at all, they are probably going to fail. They are probably going to be not competitive anymore and fail, ultimately lose market share, and the customer is going to go to the more efficient company. Initially, as for Konstantin was the AI agent, yeah, it sounds kind of robotic, I agree. This VC is about hype. Yes, their business model is to attract capital, I agree. In his speech, he was only promoting his own company, his own portfolio company, honestly. That's what he was doing in this video. I hope this video was helpful to you. Anyway, thanks for watching and staying with me to the end. I really appreciate you being here. As always, click right there so that you can watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.